Namaste and greetings, my beautiful souls. I used to call you my beautiful queens and kings. Now I'm going to call you beautiful souls. For those of you who want to see me doing cards, in this video I will not do cards. I call this video more important, much more important. And usually such videos, when I do, I recommend listening to them a couple of times, because usually they are packed with information which you can't grasp usually from the first time. So 2-3 times sometimes you hear the same message in a year and you get something. For those of you who know me, I am Lala Agni, and I am going to introduce myself from now on because I think I have the right for that. Not just as a tarot reader, esoteric, a psychic, clever yarn. I am a twin flame, the key twin so-called, and the creator of the book I just want you to remember. The book about eternal love. All loves are eternal. Twin flames, eternal lovers, karmic soulmates, and so much more. In the description under this video you can see what information you can find in this book, which took 6 years to write and to translate. I have, of course, so much information which I can share with you, but I have been asked a lot of times, many times, thousands of times, why do I make so little videos about specifically twin flames, why I don't watch other people videos. I have lots and lots of reasons for that, but this is one of the reasons, one of many reasons why this book had been written. And you can see this is not a little book. This book is pretty big of a manuscript. Why I don't talk about it? Because there is a lot of things which are, this subject is being used, people are making money on it, a lot of not right things are being told about it. So I have to talk about it, of course. It's one of the things I have to do. So the subject of today's video: how can you help him? And him can be not just a twin flame, because there are so little of twin flames. This is true about anyone, any relationship. What you can do? Can you do something to help a man you consider your twin, your karmic, your soulmate, your eternal lover, so on? How can you help him to connect with his soul and to start listening to his eternal part, which is undying and had been, is, and will be, and not his physical, not his so-called ego or dark ego or the material part of him? Because there are 2 points of view we can see and hear and understand things: from the point of view of a soul and from the point of view from physical body. So is there anything you can do? How you can do what you should do? I will give you the answer to this question by reading a small part of a conversation which I have written into this book, into the book of mine, and everything will be there. Of course, the limited amount of time I have, but I am sure you will, those of you who need to hear will hear me. Busted, opened the door and froze. A scar covered my face, only my eyes were visible. What happened to your face, Lala? Come in quickly. Get in that chair, baby girl. Let me bring you some tea and you'll tell me everything. Why the face of Lala was covered with the scar. You can read it in the book. I will not do it now. I need to give you the answers. Can you do something to help him hear his soul? My dear girl, what I will tell you now may sound rather harsh, maybe even cruel, she told me. But that will be exactly what you must hear. I can understand your pain, but what happened to your face was thanks to your own utter stupidity. You know that you and he are one. How could you let this happen? If he and I are one, as you say, then why was I blind and clueless what he was doing all this time? Why didn't I see what he was doing? Why didn't I see he was using me, playing with me like a cat, with a stupid mouse, using my feelings, hopes, dreams to his own advantage? Why didn't I see any of this? If we are one, as you say, busted, what I saw and what I felt was completely different from what the reality was and the reality is. If we are one, I should have known, but I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything, busted, nothing. I will explain, Lala. I will explain, she said after a moment of silence. You see and you feel his soul, and the soul can neither lie nor pretend. The soul is pure, but his soul does not control him. His soul only occasionally raises her head and opens her eyes, and as soon as it happens, he is immediately attacked by the dark. He does not listen to his soul, Lala, he is listening to his mind. Do you know what that means? The human brain is pretty much just a receiver. It is entirely empty initially. All thoughts appear from outside. The dark one once broadcast at low frequencies and low vibrations. The light ones at high frequency and high vibrations. While you are at low frequency vibrations, the light ones cannot reach you. You simply cannot get through to you. No matter what they try to tell you, you will not hear them. All doubts, all fears, all pain, anger, resentment, jealousy, all this come from the dark side. Why? So that you lose your pure vital energy, which serves as their food. The more you lose it, the worse it gets on the physical side for you. Insomnia begins, panic attacks, depression. The dark ones do everything for a person to stay precisely on low frequency vibrations as long as possible. When you were trying to do what you had done to him, when you cursed him, you were under the influence of the dark forces. That's why it happened what happened. You have punished yourself. As for Farhan, at the moment he is 80% controlled by the dark ones and only 20% by his soul, which you hear and feel. That did not happen to him in a day. He gradually moved towards this state for many years. You were sent to him precisely to be his light and not to descend to low frequency vibration. The dark controls most of what his physical body does. All this was hidden from you, yes. I knew about it when you first came to me, but I didn't tell you anything because if I had told you, you wouldn't have done anything. Meaning he would not have the slightest chance of waking up. You are right. If I had known all this from the very beginning, I would have done absolutely nothing. Exactly. There is no untruth in what you knew and felt inside of your very essence. You are connected with his soul since you share one, and his soul loves you deeply, truly, for eternity. But I repeat, his soul does not control him. He doesn't listen to the voice of his soul. And even if he does not follow it. He follows the mind, and his mind follows the law vibrations. If you look at what he's most striving for, it is easy to see. The dark ones prioritize business, power, money, fame, status, sex, and material pleasures. This is what dark prioritize. Please hear what I'm going to say next. If you think that you two are separated only because of him, you are very wrong. The guilt is also yours. I could not believe what I have just heard. Mine? I am guilty? I am guilty of what? I was startled. I was so shocked by her words. Yes, Lala, you are guilty. You are guilty of not loving yourself and not accepting yourself. Tell me, do you love yourself? Do you forgive yourself? Do you accept yourself the way you are? Do you have the unconditional love towards you? Do you? Do you? Tell me. I was so shocked by her words that I could only shake my head. For as long as I remembered, I liked nothing about me. Of course, my childhood and youth circumstances, my whole life in general, did not help me much in loving and accepting myself the way I am. The words of my dear mother got to the surface of my memory. And why would anyone love you? What have you achieved in life? Some people accomplish so many things, and what have you done? It was my old unhealed wound. My strong and powerful mom never seemed to see anything good in me. And no matter how painful it might have been, I got used to the thought that I was worse than anyone around me, and I didn't deserve the right to any admiration or happiness. I held the deeply rooted belief that one must deserve love. One must deserve happiness. One must deserve respect. Deserve. I was so wrong. I felt I had nothing or close to nothing worthy of any of those. My father never needed me and was never present in my life. But in the eyes of my mother, I was woven from all kinds of not particularly positive qualities. At least that's what she told me throughout my life. Maybe she felt or thought differently. I cannot know for sure. Where would the self-love and self-confidence come from? For many years, I have had a dream to accomplish something glorious. So my mom would change her mind about me and be proud of me. If only I could get an Oscar or something like that. But such a chance is rather slim, to say the least. The way things were going in my life, I guess an Oscar was hardly possible for me, even in my distant future. But somehow it was apparent to me the people who achieve something great in life do not care much about anyone else's opinion. Do you have to be self-confident and at peace with yourself and the world to be successful and auspicious? Usually, yes. Well-balanced and confident people achieve a lot because they know who they are. They know what they want and typically do not want any do what they are passionate about and enjoy. They are in harmony with themselves and the world. They don't seek external praise. Unfortunately, I was not one of them. All my life, it seemed the world told me that everyone was better than me, and I was unlovable. Everything in my life told me over and over again. I heard it so often, I believed it was true. Busted silently watched me as I stared at the wall, wiping away my tears. No, I answered. I have no love for myself. I don't have anything to be loved for. She paused for a moment. Finally, she said, Lala, do you remember and do you realize that the twins mirror each other? Mirror. Where do you think his shadow comes from? He's just like you. He doesn't have this inner love for himself. Anahata, heart chakra, blocked. Your Farhan, your mega star, twin flame, does everything to receive love from the outside. He needs love from all of those crowds worshiping him and praising him. Why? Why? Because he does not have it inside him. All those people, all those women, he needs them for that same reason. There is no inner love in either of you, Lala. Not in him, not in you. You cannot be together at this stage. Cannot be. If the higher forces interfered and united the two of you at this stage, you would not be able to put up with yourself reflected in him. And he would not be able to put up with himself reflected in you for more than a few days. You would kill each other. The lack of unconditional self-love and self-acceptance in both of you has resulted in this huge imbalance in both of you. In both of you. You are only in the spirit, and he is only in the body. But neither of you has any inner love. So how can you be together? How can you be united? You see him as a demon only because you do not accept yourself. Everything that he has, you have it as well. If you were in his male body, if he embodied your female form, you would behave exactly the same as he does right now. I stared again into her incredible green eyes. The soft glow shining through them seemed to carry powerful and bright energy that could soothe, taking away my pain and confusion, straightening up my thoughts and opening up new previously unknown ways to see past events. But too many revelations landed upon me that day. Busted, is that really true? Would I really behave the same if I was a man and lived his life? Absolutely, yes. You must be the light for him, Lala, the light, she continued. You are given to him so that you could guide him back into the light, but without learning to love and accept yourself, you cannot do this. You cannot do this. You must learn to value, accept, and love yourself. And only after that will you be able to learn to rise above his actions in his physical form. We all are spirits playing our given roles. We receive a costume, our body, a scenario, our life circumstances, and the stage, this planet. In each performance, we have goals, purposes, and missions. The requirements of twin flames are intense. You must learn to rise above his actions in physical form and see him as a spirit who has lost connection with himself. You are the one to help him return to that connection. But first, you must learn self-love. Only after that will you be able to learn to accept him in any form calmly, just as you calmly accept his roles in his movies, knowing those are just roles. You will learn to accept the roles he plays away from the movie set. You will learn to love you in him and love him in you. Love not because of something, just love. Love with no conditions. Just love yourself and him for everything and nothing. Love you for just being you. Accept you for just being you. Love him for just being him. That is your goal. Do you understand? That is where you must be. Are you there yet? Ask yourself, are you there yet? No, you're not. Not at all. At first you idealized him. He was your heavenly angel with white wings. You saw in him only his beautiful qualities, which of course exist in great quantity, but you did not see his hidden dark side, which is also there. I'm not telling you he is a heavenly angel, as you used to call him. He's far from being one, but just like the rest of us, he is your twin with all the light, dark and half tones in him. And this twin resides in the body of a person with deep inner traumas, no worse, no better than the rest of us. I repeat, my beautiful girl, you must be his light, his true light, the sacred fire of his soul, the spark of the source, the God in him. But look what had happened to you instead. You have lowered yourself to hatred, to jealousy, to resentment, to anger, So how can you get him into the light and resurrect that light in him if you have lost it? I closed my eyes and took a deep breath. Why should it all be so complicated? Why? You're blaming him, she continued. You're angry with him and jealous of him. You criticize him, you hate him. These are low frequency vibrations. You have forgotten your love. Yours and his love is eternal and unconditional. You can lift him out of the darkness in which he lives. But you first must lift yourself. How can you do what you both came for if you both lost the light? I only shook my head. What should I do? What am I supposed to do with all this? You must rise yourself from the low to the high levels, Lala. You need to change the vibrations in you and around you and start to listen to the light, not to the dark. To do that, you need to generate a state of unconditional love within you. Love towards yourself first of all. After that, and only after, will you be able to show love towards him, the entire world and every soul in it. No matter what their stage of development, love is the essence of the soul. Do you understand? When you are in that state, you don't hate, you don't have irritation, anger, envy, resentment, grief, hopelessness, sadness, condemnation. None of that will exist in you. Such love directly connects with the divine energy and all the souls on earth and beyond. It is a hard work, but is exactly what you need to do, and something else you need to do. I will finish at that. It's just a small little part, of course, of this work. You can read it for yourself. I considered and felt it was necessary to share this particular part with you today. And I hope those of you who needed to hear me and needed a message of what to do next and needed to know how you can help him, whoever he is, connect with his soul, I hope you heard your answers. I am wishing you all the best and shine brightly for yourself and for the others. Namaste.